Of course, Takano's theory is correct. Oyashiro-sama isn't a god. And the punishment by God, namely the curse of Oyashiro-sama that people have been scared of, will turn out to be just the symptoms of an infectious disease. Oh, God, there's a lot of questions though I have about it that are like legitimately issues with just the idea. But I'll wait until they like fully flesh it out instead of like bring up things, because they'll probably address my issues later on. I see. This is what dethroning God means. So if the pathogen of this infectious disease were identified and announced to the public, the worship would be completely lost. That's right. That's what they're afraid of. Mio was going to identify the pathogen. And Mio was killed. So that means she identified it. Maybe she did. But she's gone, and she didn't say she did in her scrapbooks. But that's the only reason I can think of. But it's the end of the 20th century. I'm sure the villagers have been examined by many different medical institutions. I've never heard anything about discovery of a weird parasite like that. I know. It's true that the pathogen hasn't been found yet. Okay, yeah, so I think her text is just going to keep getting like darker into like a shade of red as she's like descending into insanity. I think that's what it's trying to show. Because it is really getting darker now. But in fact, there is evidence that there is some kind of parasite involved. What? Really? When a parasite enters a human body, the immune system cells, eosinophils, or macrophage, try to kill the parasite. Or macrophage. It's one of those. They secrete an antibody called immunoglobulin E, IgE. The common way of checking if a person is infected by a pathogen is to check at the level of this secretion. According to Takano's research, people from Hinamizawa have a very high level of IgE in their blood. That's not all. They also have obvious symptoms of being infected by parasites. They don't have any allergic reactions. IgE stimulates mast cells, and they secrete histamine and serotonin as a result. These cause an allergic reaction. The allergic reaction isn't pleasant to humans, but it's a necessary reaction for the human to kill the pathogen. But the parasites don't want to be killed, so they secrete substances that counteract IgE. As a result, IgE stops stimulating the receptors of the mast cells, which stops secreting stimulating substances. As a result, the antigen-antibody reaction, namely an allergic reaction doesn't occur. In other words, a human body that was infected by a parasite secretes a high level of IgE, but it doesn't cause an allergic reaction. For your information, a human body that's infected by a parasite doesn't suffer from hay fever. You get hay fever because you're secreting a large amount of IgE because your body mistakes pollen for an invasion of a parasite. As a result, a large amount of stimulating substances like histamine will be secreted, but your body doesn't contain the parasite that they're supposed to kill. That's why your body keeps secreting IgE. As a result, the stimulating substances keep causing allergic reactions. This is the mechanism of hay fever. If you have a parasite in your body, it will deactivate IgE and suppress the secretion of the stimulating substances. As a result, you don't have the allergic reaction. In other words, there's no hay fever in Hinamizawa, and you can cure your hay fever by moving to Hinamizawa. So we haven't been able to identify the pathogen, but there's no question about its existence. Yes, you're right. Well, there's another thing where I said you can't really test it to see if they are in there, but they did through like just sheer possibility. So maybe they are infected by some parasite. It's still weird though. If that's true, the scrapbooks are a big threat to the fanatical believers. It doesn't identify the pathogen, but it clearly proves its existence. That's right. It poses a big enough danger to them think it's worth killing Mio. This is a really scary secret. I believe it because you took the time to explain it to me. But if you had skipped the details and told me only its conclusion, it would have sounded too crazy to believe. I told you. I couldn't believe it at first either. So I thought you wouldn't believe me even if I told you. We have to focus on the group of people who are trying to conceal the facts. Yeah, you're right. The fanatical believers want to revive the sacredness of the god they worship. Reviving the majesty of their god means reviving the power of that god. The power of God is the infectious disease. This infectious disease doesn't spread nationwide unlike other infectious diseases. So I'm going to start calling it an endemic disease. It fits better because it only affects this region. Anyway, the endemic disease of current-day Hinamizawa is different from the one of old times. It's been through a process of selection and it's harmless now. That means it doesn't do any harm to human bodies. That harm was interpreted as a curse in old times. A curse is the power of God, so a harmless endemic disease means that God is powerless. That means the only way to regain the majesty of God is to revive the curse. It means they want to revive their primitive endemic disease, namely the harmful strong parasite. Huh? So they want to introduce the strong strain again. Wait a second. The fanatical believers want to deny the fact that their god was actually a parasite, but you're saying that they're researching the parasite. It contradicts, doesn't it? I know it does. I think it's a secret research that only the top of the fanatical believers know about. Yeah, but then they wouldn't be fanatical believers. On the outside, they look like they're praising their god, but they actually understand the true identity of their god, and they're trying to revive the supernatural power with their own hands. I see. Oh my god, this is getting crazier and crazier. Oh, 1 second. Hang up. Hey, Mio, we need to talk. It didn't say in the scrapbooks, but I'm suspicious of the clinic the manager owns. You're a clinic? Why? The facility is too big and fancy for Hinamizawa. Let's go! The only reason I suggested him is because of the fucking syringe. Because where else is Rika gonna get a fucking syringe? This is the one part I'll agree with the scrapbook. Mio was working there. The manager might be a bacteriologist the Sonozaki family recruited. It can't be. I think Mio was murdered because she knew too much. The reason why the manager hasn't been murdered yet is because he's working for the fanatical believers. And he's researching the harmful primitive endemic diseases. It's hard to believe that the manager we know is capable of doing things like that. I'm sorry. He might be totally irrelevant. It's just a wild guess. But someone is doing the research somewhere. That much is certain. I mean, I've kind of always been... Not always. But ever since, last chapter, I'm starting to feel a little less and less secure in him. Especially with his outright, denial of oh, no disease ever does this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, come on, dude. Obviously something's wrong here. And the research has finally been completed after 5 years. The first case was the dismembering lynch murdered by the damn construction workers. Their quarrel turned into a lynch murder. They might have had the dangerous primitive infectious disease and the symptoms. The violence and delirium might have kicked in. The victims of the second year were Satoko's parents. There were no witnesses, so it's veiled in mystery. But there's a theory that someone might have pushed them over the cliff, since the fence of the observation deck that they fell from was quite sturdy. What if one of them was infected by the primitive parasite? He or she might have become violent and pushed the other off the cliff. The Shinto priest died from a disease, and his wife drowned herself in the 3rd year. He might have died of shock because he had a super sensitive reaction to the infection. His wife might have gone crazy and committed suicide when one of the symptoms, delirium, kicked in. In the 4th year, Hojo Satoshi's aunt was beaten to death, probably by Satoshi. Everyone who knew Satoshi remembers how he changed at that time. He showed signs of both violence and delirium. In the 5th year, for the first time in 5 years, the victim experienced the maggot disease, described in the old scroll of the Furude Shrine. The reason behind it is unclear, but the strong primitive disease parasite could have given the infected people a delusion of maggots. This means that they finally managed to duplicate the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Damn, I mean, god fucking damn it, this is making me believe in it that much more. But I will say I was right on Ire being involved, probably. Mainly because Rika had that syringe. There's no other logical way for her to have a syringe than getting it from a clinic. That's a right in town. After 5 years of research. Tomitake is the victim of the 5th year. He died in an extremely abnormal way, and I'm the only one who understands his death because I experienced the same thing. He kept clawing at his throat to get rid of the maggots, and he died as a result. So is that what Rika was doing? By trying to get the, quote, maggots out of her throat? By ripping it open. Still disgusting, but still. With all that explained, I can explain the maggot disease I experienced in Ibaraki. I left Hinamizawa and it made the parasite in me uncomfortable. As a result, it tried to resist. Even though it wasn't strong, it tried to make me homesick. With the divorce incident, I got sick mentally and my mind completely lost the power to resist for a period of time. The parasite was weak and harmless, but my mental instability allowed it to develop the symptoms dramatically. Okay. Which is why it could be that Shion developed it, because her mental, sanity isn't exactly high up on that list. Especially after the whole incident with Keiichi not giving the doll to Mion and her being upset. That whole thing. Because then it reminded her of Satoshi. In that sense. So, and that could have, caused the parasite to change. Huh. God damn it, this fucking thing. This fucking weird-ass thing that I was so quick to deny is actually going to turn out right. Fuck me. As a result, I went crazy and became violent. The delusion of Oyashiro-sama appearing to me in the bathroom was probably the delirium in its terminal phase. I created the supernatural existence, Oyashiro-sama, that I was instilled with when I was little. Then I persuaded myself to go back to Hinamizawa based on my delusion. I believe some of the mountain hermits of Onikafuji had the same kind of experience, and they must have passed their experiences down as miracles of God. I remember I once saw on TV that the Aboriginal people in South America use some kind of natural drug to get high in order to have magical experiences. Yeah, that's called weed. And that they called a ritual to communicate with their god. Yeah, sure. That's what it is for. Or fucking cocaine. So, what the fanatical believers are trying to do is to spread the primitive parasites in Hinamizawa. I think that's their goal. But I don't think they'll do that without letting people know about it. Religions need ceremony. So if they created what they wanted to create, and if they decide to spread it, I think they'd name it the day of Oyashiro-sama's revival or something, and they'd perform a religious demonstration. I still don't think Mion's involved at all. I think she's completely not involved. Same with the Sonozaki family. I think this supersedes the Sonozaki family. They do some kind of special ceremony to celebrate the revival of Oyashiro-sama. That's a bad thing, isn't it? I think you can say that, because they're trying to spread a very dangerous pathogen. Hey, isn't that bioterrorism? Jeez, this is very bad. They used it on Tomitake when they confirmed that they succeeded in duplicating the curse of Oyashiro-sama. So X day might be very close. I don't know. It could happen in a few days, or it might take a year. This is way out of your league, Rena. This is way out of your league. This is a very serious conspiracy. There's nothing we can do to stop him. We have to report it to the police. Do you think they will believe us? It's their choice to believe us or not. We have to tell them. Keiichi, telling Oichi about all this means telling him that I have the scrapbooks. Do you think it's a problem? She came to me after Mio was murdered. When they killed Mio, they found out that her scrapbooks were missing. They also know that she met me at the library a few days ago. No way. You mean? Yeah. Oishi could be one of them. There's a possibility that Oishi thinks I have the scrapbooks and might be trying to find out. In fact, he looked very suspicious. It seemed to me that he didn't really tell me everything he knew. He only told me things to make me suspicious of the Sonozaki family. There's a possibility that he was just trying to look like he was on my side, and that he's actually their minion. No. Bullshit. Mion hates him too much to ever be in league with them. But the police are our only hope. Keiichi, you know the case of the 4th year, don't you? Satoko's aunt was murdered. I believe Satoshi did it, but the police caught a drug addict as the murderer. What do you think about that? Some of the fanatical believers are with the police, and they fabricated the murder? It's the same with the autopsy of the Shinto priest who they claim died from disease, and the inspection of this accident site from where Mr. and Miss Hojo died. If the police are on their side, it opens the door to many perfect crimes. The 3 families have been maintaining pressure on the police since the dam conflict. You've heard from Michan that they also have considerable power over many organizations in Okinawa, right? No. There's been too many instances of Oishi talking about it in the tip section. He's not in league with them. Maybe some police, the police chief might be. He might be in league with the Sonozaki family, but no. I don't buy that. Yeah, I have. It's not only Mion who told me that. Many people did. They told me the Sonozaki family has a powerful influence over the whole city. That's right. You can't necessarily trust the police of this village. Rena, please. I want to make one thing clear before we go. Go on. Is the Sonozaki family the mastermind of all of this? Does it mean Mion is involved too? Please tell me. No. Nope. I will not engage in this tomfoolery. I don't know if Michan or Rika are directly involved or not. All I can say for sure is that the fanatical believers have the power to control the nerve centers of the 3 families, including the most powerful family of all, the Sonozaki family. I'm not sure if the fanatical believers are controlling the 3 families, or the 3 families are the fanatical believers. As long as we're not sure about their involvement, it's better for us to be extra cautious about them, right? Yes. I'm not saying that I don't trust Michan. She's usually very reliable, and I'd ask her for help with any problem, but not this one. This one is a little different. I don't know if you've seen it, but although Michan acts goofy around us, she can be a very cold person when she acts as the next leader of the Sonozaki family. Plus, even if she wasn't involved, we would put her in danger if we told her about this. True. I wouldn't want to put her in any kind of danger. That would be the last thing I want her to do. I want her to be safe and secure. Put her in a little box and just stay safe. Don't move. I don't want you to fucking die. Please. But, again, I'd trust her with any kind of problem I'm having. Any of them. Because she is so open, honest, caring, a good person, blah blah, all the great stuff, all the superlatives. She's just so amazing. I just couldn't even begin to doubt her. If she was on our side, it would be very encouraging. I think we should tell her. No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't tell her until we confirm she's not one of them. It'd be very encouraging if we could pull her on our side, but what if we couldn't? Of course not, because, of course, Mion is automatically a terrible human being, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Terrible. So how are we going to fight against them? Well, this is a battle we don't stand a chance to begin with. That's why I didn't want to get you into this. Damn it. Dokno left a big souvenir for us, didn't she? But because of that, we know about the conspiracy. I believe this is her will. 2 kids challenging the mastermind of who controls the village. This is going to be tough. This isn't going to be easy. Again, if it comes down to a decision of who would you rather trust, or who are you going to side with, and if it's a Mion or versus Rena scenario, There's not one where I ever pick Rena. There is never going to be a scenario I pick Rena over Mion. Especially they give like an actual choice of who are you gonna trust, or whose side do you take, Rena's or Mion's. If like it actually forces me to choose, I'll save, of course, and then like just talk about how no, just understand. I will never ever go on Rena's side over Mion's because I just can't trust her. Mion has shown time and time again her character is an upstanding person. That won't change. No matter what they try to unveil of her, she is a caring person. Deep down, she always is. Even when she knew she was about to die, she still loved her sister. That's her true character. There was no acting there. She truly loved her. Which makes Shion even that more despicable. But it just shows how caring of a person she is. But Keiichi, I'm glad to have you on my side. We can talk about it and plan things together. Of course. I've always been on your side, and I'm your friend. I know. Thank you. You're very encouraging. Yeah. Two are better than one. That's right. We can talk and come up with how we're going to fight against them. I skipped school today because I wanted some time to read the scrapbooks again. But I'm going to school again tomorrow. And I'm going to act normal. They might sense something is wrong with me if I acted differently. You should do the same, Keiichi. Please be careful with Mi-chan, because she can be very sharp sometimes. Oh my god. Yes, doubt her again. Why does everyone fucking doubt her? Jesus fucking Christ. It's because of her family ties. That's all. That's the only reason. She showed upstanding character. Oh, doubt her. The fuck? Good God. Okay. I'll act normal as if I know nothing. But damn, I'm a bit scared. A huge conspiracy might be just around the corner. It's hard to act normal knowing that. I don't think it's going to happen very soon. Like I said earlier, they need a religious ceremony if they really are fanatical believers. They need help of the village to hold that kind of big ceremony. I can't think of any event other than Watanagashi. So you're saying that we have time at least until the next Watanagashi? I can't promise, but I just can't think of any other event than Watanagashi. I think we have a year at least. But I also feel like we don't because of the fact that they killed Mio. I might not know, but there might be a bigger religious event than Watanagashi. It might not be long until X day. On the day of Oyashiro-sama's revival, they're going to spread a dangerous parasite, and that day might be just around the corner. Reina, are you still on the phone? Wrap it up soon, it's getting late. My father sticks his head out from the living room telling me to wrap it up. I thought about telling him about it so many times. It's natural to think that your parents will be on your side no matter what. But I know how weak he can get, so I couldn't tell him. Oh, wow, so your own fucking dad. I don't think he'd believe me anyway, even if I told him. He'd just tell me to call the police. It's better that I don't tell him. They might get closer to my father. They might get close to my father to get me. If he didn't know anything about anything, including the scrapbook, there'd be nothing to squeeze out of him to begin with. I'm sorry, Keiichi. I have to go now. It's getting late. I'll see you at school. Okay, see you tomorrow. Be careful, okay? You're not an outsider anymore. Yeah, I'll be careful. I remember the suspicious men in the station wagon, and I feel a chill run through my spine. They looked like villagers, but they weren't. They had the village accent, but they were just pretending. The more I think about it, the more suspicious they become. It tells me that Rena and I aren't safe. If Rena is right, they're just suspicious of her, and they're not sure if she has the scrapbooks or not. But it's still creepy. Rena has probably experienced the same creepiness I felt when I saw the station wagon several times now. She must sense their danger more than I do. However, the fact that they aren't attacking us, that they were merely observing us, was disturbing. If they attacked her, she could have done it something, like going to the police. But what they do is just watch her from a distance. She can't do anything about it. She can't talk to anyone about it. She probably just wants to stay in her house all day. But if she was acted differently, and they might take it as proof that she has the scrapbooks. We have to think about how to fight against them without acting differently. I tell myself that there's no going back, and I put the phone down. Definitive. Detective Keiichi on the case. Oh, I have to say, oh god, I'm getting really tired. That was a lot of high level thinking I had to do there. Oh god. And I'll save this next time this next section for next time, because I have a feeling that Mion's gonna get upset, and I want to be as happy in a mood as possible, so it just brings me down to a normal level. I just have this stinking sensation that he's gonna say something terrible to Mion, or he's gonna just down talk her, or like just down think her in a way. He's just gonna think about how terrible she is, and that fucking just kills me on the inside. Anyways, wow, my theory has really started changing, because now I'm actually starting to believe in a fucking stupid ass parasite taking over the village. Jesus Christ. It's starting to answer my questions though, so I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go get some sleep. Stay tuned for the next episode, which will be out in the next tomorrow. Oh god, I love this series so much. God, I wouldn't trade this series at all. This is just amazing. It blows my mind how in-depth it is. The characters are so unique, so original, it's awesome. And, God, I just want a happy ending at this point. Fuck, it's been long overdue at this point. God, I can't wait to get to the ending just so I can be like, oh, it feels so good. Presuming that the actual official ending is good. It could be shit. It could be just Keiichi lives, and then I would be so depressed and say this is the fucking worst. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video around. Tell your friends, family, grandparents, anyone really. Tell them if they have an itchy neck that they really need to watch this. Jesus. Ugh. Fuck the maggots. The worst thing in the world. Anyways, have a great day.